What if the biggest misunderstandings in love aren't because someone is wrong, but because men and women are wired to see the same world through completely different emotional lenses? One person craves deep conversation to feel close, while the other needs space to process before they can open up. One feels loved through consistent words and reassurance, while the other feels it through actions and respect for their independence. This invisible gap creates endless confusion, arguments, and heartbreak. But once you understand the real psychology behind how men and women think, feel, and love differently, everything changes. You stop taking things personally. You start responding with wisdom instead of reaction. And you build connections that actually last. In the next few minutes, you will discover the hidden truths about male and female psychology that most people never learn. If this resonates with you, hit like right now and subscribe for more powerful insights into human behavior and relationships that actually transform your life. Priya was a 34-year-old marketing executive who thrived on emotional connection. She grew up believing that love meant sharing everything: thoughts, fears, dreams, and daily feelings. When she started dating Arjun, a calm and ambitious software engineer, their early months felt magical. They laughed easily, traveled on weekends, and spent hours talking late into the night. But as the relationship deepened, small cracks appeared. Priya wanted to discuss their future, her stressful day at work, and how she was feeling. Arjun, on the other hand, would listen quietly, offer a practical solution, and then retreat to his laptop or gym to unwind. When Priya pushed for more emotional talks, Arjun would become distant. This pattern confused her deeply. She began wondering if he cared less, if she was too much, or if something was wrong with their relationship. This is one of the most common psychological realities between men and women. Decades of research in evolutionary psychology, attachment theory, and neuroscience shows that men and women often process emotions, stress, and intimacy differently. These differences are not stereotypes. They are averages rooted in biology, socialization, and survival adaptations that have shaped human behavior over thousands of years. For many women like Priya, emotional connection is a primary way to feel secure and loved. Talking about feelings releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, and helps regulate their nervous system. When a woman shares her emotions, she is often not seeking an immediate fix. She is seeking to feel understood and closer. This is why silence or quick problem-solving from a man can feel like rejection or emotional abandonment. Men like Arjun, however, are frequently wired toward problem-solving and compartmentalization. When facing stress or emotional intensity, testosterone and their typical stress response drive them toward action or withdrawal to regain a sense of control. This cave time or focused independence is not disinterest, it is how many men process and recharge. Pushing them to talk before they are ready can trigger defensiveness or further shutdown because it feels like a loss of autonomy. Priya noticed the body language signs clearly. When Arjun was overwhelmed, he would cross his arms, avoid prolonged eye contact, and give shorter responses. His shoulders would tense, and he would physically create space. These were not signs of falling out of love. They were signals that he needed time to regulate before he could reconnect meaningfully. The biggest mistake most couples make is interpreting these natural differences as personal failure. Priya used to chase Arjun with more questions and longer messages when he pulled back. This only increased the distance. Arjun would feel pressured and retreat more, creating a painful chase-withdraw cycle that exhausted both of them. The turning point came when Priya decided to learn the real psychology instead of reacting from hurt. She stopped demanding immediate emotional availability and began focusing on her own fulfillment. She pursued her hobbies, met friends, and practiced self-soothing techniques. At the same time, she learned to communicate her needs clearly, but without pressure, using "I feel" statements and giving him space to respond in his own way. Arjun, seeing her newfound calm and independence, started feeling safer to open up. He realized that Priya's earlier intensity came from care, not control. Slowly, he began sharing more without feeling overwhelmed. They developed simple rituals that honored both styles' short daily check-ins for her need for connection and respectful space for his need for independence. Another powerful example comes from Rahul and Neha. Rahul was the type of man who showed love through actions, fixing things around the house, planning trips, and being reliable. Neha, however, needed verbal affirmation and quality time. When Rahul worked long hours and became quiet, Neha felt unloved. Instead of criticizing him, she started appreciating his actions openly while gently expressing her own needs. Rahul responded by making small but consistent efforts to talk more. Their respect for each other's wiring turned potential resentment into deeper appreciation. Understanding these core differences prevents unnecessary pain. Women often feel love through emotional presence, words of affirmation, and shared vulnerability. Men frequently feel love through respect, physical touch, and the freedom to be providers and protectors without constant emotional demands. Both want the same outcome, to feel valued and secure, but they speak different emotional languages. Body language offers clear clues. Women may use more expressive facial movements, maintain eye contact longer during conversations, and lean in when seeking connection. Men often show affection through side-by-side activities, playful teasing, or protective gestures, rather than face-to-face emotional intensity. Recognizing these signals without judgment reduces miscommunication dramatically. The deeper lesson from psychology is that neither way is superior. Secure relationships form when both partners respect these natural tendencies while building bridges. This means practicing differentiation, staying true to yourself while remaining connected to your partner. It means learning to give what the other person needs, even when it does not come naturally to you. When Priya and Arjun embraced this understanding, their relationship transformed. Arguments became shorter and more productive. Distance no longer triggered panic. They built a bond where Priya felt heard and Arjun felt respected. Their love grew stronger because they stopped trying to change each other and started understanding each other. This knowledge applies far beyond romance. It improves friendships, family dynamics, and workplace interactions. Men who learn how women typically process emotions become better listeners and partners. Women who understand male need for autonomy reduce unnecessary pressure and create more attraction and peace. The truth is, men and women are not from different planets. They are complementary. One brings emotional depth and nurturing. The other brings strength, stability, and action-oriented protection. When these forces work together with awareness instead of conflict, they create something powerful and lasting. The next time you feel misunderstood in a relationship, pause and ask yourself, is this a genuine issue? Or is it simply a difference in how men and women experience and express love? Choose curiosity over blame. Choose understanding over reaction. Focus on your own emotional maturity while offering respect to their natural wiring. This is how lasting love is built, not by forcing sameness, but by honoring the beautiful and complex psychology that makes men and women uniquely different, yet deeply compatible when approached with wisdom. Priya and Arjun are still together years later, stronger because they learned these truths. Their story proves that knowledge of male and female psychology does not kill romance, it deepens it. It turns confusion into connection and frustration into fulfillment. Remember this always: the differences between men and women are not obstacles. They are invitations to grow, to understand, and to love more intelligently. Master this, and you will never see relationships the same way again.